This morning, we're welcoming you to see it here for yourselves as it's publicly exhibited for the first time in Europe. The camera offers features and flexibility demanded by the industry. I'm truly delighted and honoured to welcome now on stage Ed Wild, BSc, who will share with you his experiences of working with Venice. Ed received an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Cinematography for his work on the Sky Atlantic miniseries Fleming, starring Dominic Cooper. He's forged a successful commercials career collaborating with several international production companies. Now, finally and most importantly, I'm sure the audience are all waiting to hear, what your impression was of the pictures as you first saw them when they came out of the grading suite. So, what were your first impressions when you first saw them?
I think for me, I'm always interested when I go into the grade to see something that happens simply. I don't want to have to fiddle with secondaries and lots of things. And so if it just sits, if you just work with the density and the luminance, and it does, it just sits there and the colours just came out. And there was particularly a shot where we had the woman come out and it was a close-up, so the shade on one side and the kick of sunlight on the other and the trees behind her in the shade and in the lights. There's an awful lot going on there that can sometimes on daylight in digital become problematic, and you have to fiddle with various keys and stuff, and it really did just sit in the way I remembered seeing it on the day, which was quite a special light.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're of course all going to get the chance to see your film on the big screen here at IBC. In the auditorium. I think it's being screened at 2:30 this afternoon, so I encourage everybody to go and take a look, and I'm looking forward to seeing that myself on the big screen. So thank you so much for taking time with us, Ed. Thank you.
Right.
With that in mind, and going one step further beyond definition, we'd like to show to you all Sony's first 8K camera to include 3 8K sensors, the UHC 8300. The 8300 has been designed to cover all of the features necessary for premium productions, including live broadcasts and high-end documentaries. Sony developed this camera with customer input provided by NHK. We expect this camera to be used not only for 8K production, but also for 4K production. It's able to generate 8K, 4K, and HD signal outputs simultaneously, applying different color spaces and OETF to each signal. And using 3 8K sensors, the camera gives media companies the flexibility to capture content in 8K with the possibility to cut out a 4K image in real time for use in 4K HDR live production. And the 8300 can also be used and accommodates the B4 mount 4K lenses. So if I'd encourage you just to turn to your left, where we've got the actual camera here on the stand. It's just being unveiled. We'll make sure you get plenty of opportunity to come and take some close-ups after the conference closes. The camera will, of course, remain here and is part of our main exhibit here at IBC. So, and if all that isn't enough, I now would like to welcome Stuart to the stage, who's going to introduce to you the second part of our program. Over to you, Stuart.
But what do we mean by advanced media operations? Well, in the age of greater IT connectivity, IP infrastructure and cloud-based workflows, our advanced media operations, as you'll see here at IBC this year, are set to make an impact by being a positive industry disruptor. Now, in addition to making great products, Sony Professional provides applications and services that significantly improve our customers' workflows. And because we're focused on automation and speed, we're taking the cost out of our customers' workflows so that they really can do more with less. And we're doing this in 2 ways. Firstly, we're supporting our customers to manage the migration from an SDI, hardware-based infrastructure, to that of an IP-based system. Here at IBC, we're showcasing how IP Live enables more efficient use of resources and a faster turnaround times between productions with a remote integration demonstration. And that's going to connect a host production facility, camera set and production gallery on our booth here in Amsterdam to a level 3 data center in London, where the processing resources are all located, including all the switches and servers as well. We're also collaborating with Suitcase TV to showcase a solution for remote production using its IP live production system over a 1 gig network link. And secondly, we're building applications and production platforms that not only reside in the cloud, but some of which were created there. And furthermore, last year we simulated cloud-based workflows built around a data center built on our stand here at IBC. The big difference for IBC 2017, we've gone cloud. You'll find no data center here on stand. Instead, we're showcasing live, cloud-based demonstrations of key workflow applications, including our media backbone Hive news production system, XDCAM Air, and the Sony C cloud tools and services. And not in isolation either, but integrated with each other and demonstrating cloud-to-cloud capability. To showcase this, during IBC, content will be wirelessly ingested into Hive, which is completely off-premise. Today, it's in a T-Systems Open Telecom cloud, but it's also available working with other cloud providers such as AWS. This content will then be made available to editors using the Hive's own cutting tools, as well as that as Adobe Premiere. Sony's XDCAM Air, also housed in the cloud, will be used for ingest and will connect to the remote browser-based Hive editor, the virtual craft editors, and a web-based content manager. And users with smartphones and laptops will also feed into this setup, directly uploading content into Hive. And then, showcasing auto packaging from within the editors itself, content will be published to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other platforms directly from the Hive implementation on the cloud. At the same time, IRT, a Munich-based internationally renowned research center for broadcast and media technology, addresses Hive as part of its research on cloud production concepts and applications. They too will be showcasing how basically cloud-based production on Hive, sharing the content we're producing and publishing, but to separate social platforms, integrating with their MXF Analyzer cloud service. And in addition, the communications technology vendor Huawei will also demonstrate the same cloud operation from their stand, showcasing how their hardware can support such operations. This is a technical showcase of how more content, more collaboration, and more channel distribution with less duplication and less infrastructure cost can allow our customers to reach more audiences. But don't just take our word for it. Within its first year of release, TV2 Lorry, RTV East, and IRT were looking for innovation, and we're proud to have them as Media Backbone Hive users. Now, staying with news, Sony's XDCAM Air addresses the growing need to acquire and stream to air faster and more efficiently. This cloud-based ENG solution uses Sony's quality of service technology, allowing high-quality streams to be sent from Sony XDCAM cameras to provide superior picture quality over Wi-Fi and LTE. Integration direct with production systems such as Hive, planning systems, editors, and social media networks provide streamlined workflows and the ability for our customers to tell their story first. Sony's drive to establish solid working partnerships that help define future solutions, therefore, remains key. And that's why Sony is very much working with industry leaders to think about how the workflows of tomorrow's productions should actually work. And one example of this is our current work with the Digital Production Partnership. And to find out more about this, please welcome the DPP's Managing Director, Mark Harrison, to the stage.
Well, DPP is the media industry's business change network. And we're an international organisation. We've got more than 300 member companies, and they're all united by the belief that by working together, they'll be better prepared for change. And we do that really through three mechanisms. One is that we make technical interventions, so we create common specifications and best practice. We also provide some really unique industry insight, because that membership, very unusually, comes from the whole supply chain. So production companies, suppliers, platforms, distributors, and that gives us a real-world view of change. And then thirdly, we create business opportunity for our members by networking them together.
So as you mentioned, you kind of covered the whole media supply chain, but we know there's 3 key focus areas for you right at the minute. Could you want to tell us more about those?
Yeah, in the show there are, yes. So we're demonstrating around IMF, the interoperable mastering format, and that's work we're doing with SIMPSI to create a specification out of that that's designed for broadcast and online. Second piece is cybersecurity. In the conference today at 11:50, I'll be announcing our new Committed to Security program. And then finally, right here on the Sony stand, we have a multi-vendor proof of concept around our news exchange work.
So with no surprise, that's the one I'm going to hone in on a little bit more. So can you tell us more about the news exchange kind of work group that Sony is obviously working with the DPP on?
Yeah. Well, there's a problem that needs solving, which is that everyone wants to be able to attach sort of persistent metadata to content. But it's really difficult to find a practical way of doing that. So what we've done is, working with our partners like Sony, we've taken an existing standard, the IPTC's News ML G2 standard, and we've turned that into a specification that works in, first of all, a news environment. So it means that in the production office, you can create a basic set of editorial metadata to a kind of standard format. That's sent wirelessly to producers in the field. Can then be injected via an app into the camera, including into a Sony camera, where it'll then remain attached to that content throughout every clip's journey, back to base, being edited, being shared, being stored, and so forth.
So why are we saying this is important, though? What we're saying that why media organisations should actually care? Or maybe you could highlight some of the news organisations involved.
Yeah. Well, so, big players. I mean, Thomson Reuters, the BBC, ITN, ITV, Channel 5, Sky. I mean, they've all been very heavily involved in this work, and I think it's because not only does it work really well for the news environment, where it's a kind of natural thing to want to do, where the need to be able to share and search and understand rights around content is really acute, but actually, all those benefits need to be found in kind of every production environment. So we think this could have a big future.
Mark, thanks for the insight, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Great pleasure. Thanks, Stuart.
Last year, Swisscom joined us here on stage to talk about the successful trial at the Locarno Film Festival, where we introduced a cloud-based remote live production setup in Swisscom's Zurich data center, fed by 4G wirelessly enabled XDCam camcorders and streamed in real time over their 4G mobile network. This year, we've been delighted to work with Swisscom again, joining them in Locarno to advance our partnership. And we've achieved this through strengthening that virtual media services ecosystem by utilizing Hive in the Swisscom cloud. This enables Swisscom to operate as a service provider with new production tools to take to market. Now, Sony is not only providing QoS streaming and virtualized switching in the cloud with a huge ROI benefit, but virtual content editing, sharing, publishing, all from the same platform. Let's enjoy this short video to find out more.
One of our goals during the Locarno Festival is to widen and to enlarge the contents for our social media channels, for Pardo Live Web TV, and for the overall presence of the festival.
Our mobile live production setup here in Locarno is very straightforward. So first it's the Sony XDCam equipped with a Swisscom dongle and LT SIM card in it. From there we stream directly to the Swisscom cloud. From the cloud you can access the virtual switcher from Sony with any regular laptop, and the output is a stream which you can direct to any destination. That it's easy to set up, it's completely wireless, you have less equipment, less hassle with logistics. The cost saving compared to a traditional production setup is up to 30% with mobile live production.
All the students and journalists are provided with Sony equipment, cameras, but even smartphones. From here, from the editing room, we can access instantly all these files in the cloud.
Having such a pop-up and on-demand model means we've got an array of business models to our customers who can actually now access services and only pay for what they need when they need it, meaning we're a much more diverse offer to the market.
Thank you, Stuart. Now, earlier on, I mentioned how we see our role in supporting our customers, developing beyond that of a technology innovator into being an enabler for their business. And we started this journey into what we're calling dynamic business models several years ago with a number of customers, including TV2 Lorry in Denmark and with Telemadrid in Spain, who have both been paying for use of their Sonaps news production systems on a monthly OPEX-based business model. Now, this has proven so successful that TV2 Lorry are now transitioning onto the latest cloud production platform, Media Backbone Hive, and the business arrangement allows for a continuation on similar terms and a very smooth transition during this major technology refresh. Now, in some cases, dynamic business models means making a transition from pure CapEx intensive investments to more OPEX, and in others, it means managed service style models. The pop-up production with Swisscom that you just heard about from Stuart is just one of those great examples. Now, let me round off by describing a recent innovation which combines everything we've been talking about this morning. Amazing storytelling taken to the next level, advanced cloud-based media operations, and a new OPEX-based business model. As a result of an exciting joint development between Sony Professional and Sony Interactive Entertainment Europe, Sky Deutschland subscribers who own a PlayStation 4 console and a Sony virtual reality headset were able to experience the same Champions League final match I talked about earlier, live, in virtual reality, using the PlayStation Beta Trial VR Live service. Now, this is a cloud-based managed service that delivers an amazing new experience for live content over the internet. Let's take a look.
Sports federations are really thinking hard about how they can reach the next generation of sports viewers. So we're here at the UEFA Champions League final between Juventus and Real Madrid, and we're here to deliver a PlayStation VR experience.
Owners of a PlayStation 4 VR headset will be able to have an experience which is just like sitting in the stadium here, but augmented with all of the social media and the data that they'd like to watch while they're watching the football match as well. Within the venue itself, we've got two F55 cameras shooting 180-degree content. What we're doing in the OB truck is we take the signals from those cameras and we pre-compress them down into the signals that can be then sent into the internet cloud. So we're using the same technology as Netflix uses, but we're actually delivering live signals from the venue here tonight straight into PlayStation VR headsets in Germany. So when you actually put your headset on, you'll see the entire pitch laid out in front of you, as if you had a seat up in the corporate box level here at Principality. And basically, you'll be able to look around, choose what you want to look at in the venue itself. You've also got your normal TV coverage, so you've got your Sky Germany TV coverage in a monitor above you.
Now, trust me, it is a really amazing experience, and I'd love to encourage you to actually try out the demo for yourselves. We're going to be setting it up here at IBC in this area straight after the press conference, so we'd love you to come back and immerse yourself in that experience at your leisure. So let me now hand back to Adam, who's going to round off the proceedings this morning. Thanks.
As you can see, Sony have an array of products and solutions that will help shape the continued transformation of the media industry. We've had some fantastic camera announcements here this morning, alongside some equally significant developments in our solutions and services offerings. Sony is working hard to be both a product and services company to help our customers build their brands and their audiences. And remember, we do this in two ways: by empowering amazing storytelling and enabling advanced media operations. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us today, and I'd now like to invite you over to our CLED screen, where we'll demonstrate to you the incredible power of images shot on the new 8300 8K camera and the Venice Cinealta camera. And as soon as you're ready, our specialists will be on hand to answer any of your questions and show you around all the latest innovations on the booth before it officially opens. So thank you all very much, and have a great IBC.